Hey guys, Victoria here and welcome to the Geeky Sandbox. So today we are going to be doing our recap and review and Easter egg chat over Daredevil Born Again episodes 5 and 6. Of course, if you do not want any spoilers for any of the new episodes, please feel free to skip this video and come back to it once you've watched the episodes. We've got a lot to talk about and I'm gonna try not to keep you guys for too long because I think these are two of the best damn episodes that I've seen so far this season. They're so good for their own individual reasons and right up my alley for this whole Born Again series is Born Again chapter and arc for Matt Murdock. Episode 5 was called With Interest and I really like this one. Classic bottle episode. All the vibes from a bottle episode are there. The episode just starts with Matt Murdock trying to seek some sort of business loan with New York Mutual for Murdock and McDuffie. We have Yusuf Khan, who is Kamala Khan's dad, Miss Marvel. But I'm super stoked about that, and we'll talk more about that later. And Yusuf, as much as he loves, I guess, the genuine energy coming off of Matt and just what he stands for, he can't go through with the business loan. Matt leaves, he accepts what's happening, and then New York Mutual gets robbed. Our culprits who have taken all the bank patrons hostage. I've called them blue, red, green, purple, and yellow, green being the leader. I always forget how good he is at, putting first that, hey, I'm blind, to just kind of get an enemy to let down their guard and kind of treat him differently because he knows that's something that people end up doing even when he doesn't need their pity, as he does state in this episode later. You've got the NYPD outside trying to negotiate to get the guys to let out some of these hostages or let them free, right? And they do try to let Matt go free, as well as a woman who's just newly married. Matt can hear the distraughtness in her voice and her husband's voice, and he asks if these terrible people can swap him out for the husband and let the husband go. And they agree to do that. And our green leader really, really doesn't like him. He calls him a Charles Dickens character. He called him a fictional person. We know Matt's story. He's an orphan and he's blind. He's noble and trying to help the little guy. So I just think that that's really funny that he just kind of likened him to this very unbelievable fictional character. They take Yusuf and they want him to crack open the safe so they can find something. People in the bank speculating what it could be, but you have a lot of people that are there's nothing but safety deposit boxes in here. What the hell are they expecting to find? Matt cleverly isolates Red, says he has to go to the bathroom, and he ends up fighting him on the stair rail. The suspense there was so good. He was trying to make sure the gun didn't fall, the gun didn't shoot, and that there wasn't a loud commotion, which would allow him more time to be able to go find and help Yusuf. Meanwhile, Blue is with Yusuf. Yusuf is trying to buy time and he's trying to find a way to stall what's happening. Eventually, Matt comes up and knocks out Blue and they work together. And there's some really good dialogue here between the both of them about, what kind of lessons have you instilled in Kamala? Did she take them? Did she accept them? How's she doing with those now? Because, Matt, being a man of faith and someone that quite literally works inside the law when he's in the suit and then outside the law when he's out of the suit but in the other suit, I imagine he's very fascinated with that because it's the stuff that he's been through. Matt is able to crack the safe open. They get in, they find that there's this beautiful diamond. Matt ends up making Green think that one of their guys found the diamond and he found it on one of the bodies and all this stuff, just creating some kind of diversion so that way that they have time to talk them down. Meanwhile, our NYPD officers and investigators, and specifically the hostage negotiator, she's out of time. Her captain is no, we're storming the building and we're spraying bullets, even though they're innocents, is quite literally what he said. I don't think any civilians got hurt. Matt does realize and catch on that there is someone that is controlling these guys that's sent them out here to retrieve this diamond. Who is it? He doesn't quite know yet. Matt does go after Green. Hands up overhearing Green pass off the bag that has the diamond in it and say, give this to Luca. And it turns out the woman that's been kind of speculating about what's going on in the bank is a plant. This is where we get that really nasty leg break. Takes the mask that he took from Red, puts it on, and goes to fight Green. At this point, Green has disguised himself as an NYPD. The fight is really good. It's well choreographed. It's just all the things that you could ever want in that kind of thing. All that to say, he takes him down, he knocks him out. The lady who was supposed to go deliver this diamond to Luca ends up finding out that it's a complete fake. At some point, Matt had time to trade out the candy and the diamond, which I think is genius. Oh my God, it's he's always 10 steps ahead. It's just this series is making me just fall in love with Matt Murdock all over again. I just love it so much. A nice resolve at the end. Matt goes back and visits Yusuf and they kind of have a little banter here and there, and he invites Matt Murdock over to have dinner with the Khan family. So I'm excited about this. The potential is there. And at the very end, Yosef finds the diamond in his candy bowl. So episode 6 is titled Excessive Force. So one thing that I loved about this episode overall was just the parallels, again, between Matt Murdock and Fisk. There are so many similarities there of them trying to be these reformed people and trying to stay away from who they were. I love that they show these shot-for-shot moments in the episode where they're quite literally having the same moment, the same day, the same conversations, the same feelings. And it's kind of that thing of like, you're more like your enemy than you think. In terms of what's going on with Fisk, like he was told by Vanessa, the guys that he used to be over, now they're completely out of line, they're not listening, and a lot of stuff is happening. One of them even visits the mayor's office and tries to challenge Fisk. Another thing that's happening with Fisk throughout the entire episode is he's trying his best to fit into this new space, even as he's being like really like slammed into a wall by all these rich elite people. He feels like he wants to say more, but he's kind of at their mercy, right? Because he's in the mayor's office and he realized just how difficult it is to win over these people's trust. And they kind of made me feel just a little bad for Fisk. I wasn't expecting that. I was like, oh shit, that sucks. They like pretty much spit in his face and was like, I don't care who you think you are, you're only in office for a little while, so just know who pays the bills around here, essentially is what they said. While that's going on, you have everything with Matt trying his best to move forward. He's kind of got Hector in the back of his brain, but he's not doing anything about it. Of course, Angela Ayala shows up. Here's what my uncle was working on, and he was investigating something near the tracks. Could you help me with that? Could you look into it? We need to finish his work. I think this is one of the like worst catalysts that could have ever happened. Because of his lack of action, because he didn't do anything, Angela actually goes down to the tracks and she implies that she's going to. So I'm really surprised that Matt didn't jump on that earlier. So you have these two different things going on at the same time, and the way that they're both resolved is insane. Matt and Fisk find out about Muse, but it's getting worse because when the graffiti gets all out of hand, Fisk is trying to have the sanitation department clean it up, and then sanitation ends up finding out that Muse mixes in human blood with whatever like pink medium he's using. And I think that that's crazy that the sanitation figured it out before the police department, but he puts together a police force that doesn't have a conscience, that will do whatever it takes. And this assignment, Fisk is asking them to get rid of Muse. So whatever it takes for them to find him, they're going to do what they can. Initially doesn't do anything. He's at home doing research and looking into the tunnels and where to find them and everything. But then he gets a call from Angela's mom. Angela has not come home. I don't know what to do, and I'm really scared. Muse is out there killing not 1, not 10, not 30, 60 people minimum. 60 minimum is wild. So Matt initially gets ready to call the police, which is wildly infuriating, but then he hangs up and he's like, fuck it, I'm going in. We get to see him suit up in episode 6, and I'm happy that we get to do that because we haven't seen him in action at this level since episode 1. He ends up finding Muse. Obviously, Angela at this point has been captured, and he is actively draining her blood. Muse and Daredevil are fighting over Angela's body. It's crazy. Matt hears Angela's heart slowing down, and so instead of finishing killing Muse, he ends up going to prioritize Angela. Muse gets away, which creates a whole other problem, right? Because now Muse knows that there's an actual threat. Muse was very skilled in hand-to-hand combat, more than I thought he was going to be, so I'm interested to see what happens next with that. As for Fisk, I feel like he wanted to let out those frustrations, right? So he goes down to the cell with Adam, and we get to see Fisk in action, and he's not holding back, and he pretty much beats Adam to a bloody pulp. I'm not even certain if he killed him or not, but I was like, I would be dead after that. It's a really nice way to be able to show, like I said before, how similar they both are at this point in the story, and just how they do have that need for not necessarily violence, but like control with like punching. The biggest one that I want to talk about specifically is the Kamala Khan Easter egg. Her dad says that she's visiting friends in California, so I feel like that's very much pointing us in the direction of West Coast Avengers, or at least the Young Avengers or the New Avengers, because in Captain America Brave New World, we do get a hint at he's in a place now where he feels ready to create the New Avengers. So I'm very curious to see how this is going to work. Muse is going to figure out who Matt Murdock is. The information is going to get leaked about news to the public, I think it's going to get much worse. I'm curious to hear what you guys think. But yes, guys, if you're new around here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can get more recaps for TV shows like this one. And until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!